Welcome back to Wreckfest. You join us today as we continue on in the challenges category. We currently have 1,196 points out of the needed 2,200. And we're going to start today with Attack of the Killerbee. Now this race is at Maasten Motocenter Main Circuit. And it turns out it's a 1v1 race. This will be our Killerbee against a Killerbee S. Now there is a record held for this track at C rated, which is the Rocket 44.223. Is the personal best time around this circuit. Can we do better? Possibly. We are in a B rated Killerbee, so we are, in theory, we should be a lot quicker, but time will tell. But we're going in at 171 B rated. The Killerbee S I think is a lot higher, but we get a fantastic start on the off the line there, and we're straight into first place. I vaguely remember the circuit, but not by much, as Killerbee S then takes the lead. We're now behind. We've got to play catch up. Although we do seem a bit quicker in the corners. We've got less armour on, so obviously we have got some speed to us. But we break a little bit for the corner where it probably wasn't needed as much. And the Killerbee keeps it. But we are overcooked the next corner after taking first. But Killerbee S spins out and we continue on in first place. The mistake by Killerbee S there gave us the position. It was just given to us on a plate and we couldn't say no. And we are now in the lead at the end, or towards the end, of lap number 1. Finish line is coming up for the end of the first lap. We have got a decent gap to the Killerbee S behind. And now we just got to take this nice and steady. No mistakes, no silliness. Just got to keep taking each corner nice and steady. There is no need to rush this. We're miles ahead. We can be calm. This is the perfect start, to be fair. Pretty sure the Killerbee S is rated a lot higher than we are, so it should be quicker. But then again, we've got no armour on, so that is going to speed us up as well. We're taking the alternative route there instead of what we did on the first lap, just to mix it up a little bit. Now, as we come to the end of lap number 2, we are a decent way ahead. In fact, we are around 4 seconds ahead of the Killerbee S. So we're going to skip ahead to the final lap and the end of the race. We finished the race 7.6 seconds ahead. In first place. Sorry, that was 7.6 seconds ahead. We get a brand new PB of 40.934. But that is for the B class, not C class. But it's a new track record at least. And we set the first B class time. As a reward, we actually get given the Killerbee S. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know why, but I just didn't think we'd actually be given a car. But that is our reward for beating Killerbee S. Another Killerbee S. 2 Killerbees now. Confirmation then, we get bonus targets 1 of 1 and 100 points out of 100 points for the completion. Next up, we're heading to Motorhome Madness at Big Valley Speedway Demolition Arena. Now, we don't own a motorhome, so we're going to get given one to use for this race. So we're given the Motorhome C rated 119. As a lend, and our target is 3 wrecks. We've got to wreck 3 cars in the time limit, and that is our target. That's the minimum we're allowed to do to pass this and gain points. So, Big Valley Speedway, Demolition Arena, motorhomes for the very first time. Can we get 3 other motorhomes out? Let's find out. The time is up, and I'm pretty sure we did it. I think we got 4. Yes, there we go. 4 wrecked vehicles, 1 over the target, 3. We finished in 2nd place, annoyingly. Not quite what I expected. I thought we'd be 1st, to be honest. But at least that is job done, as we gained some money for doing so and some XP. XP, quite large gain there, 10,000. That's quite good. We're edging up these levels as we go. And instead of money, we don't get money this time. Once again, we get a new vehicle. This is now the Motorhome as a brand new vehicle. Bonus targets 1 of 1 and total points 200 of 200. That's due to us getting the 4 wrecks. So now it's time for the next race. So there is a decent race just here getting smashed. But it's 8 races long. So we don't have time for that today. So we're looking at East versus West instead. This is at Dirt Devil Stadium, Dirt Speedway. And we're going to use Killerbee S, the brand new Killerbee for this one. It's a car we've not used yet. We only gained it earlier on today in today's episode. So we're going to change over to that one once we find it. Where is it? There. It's B rated 192. It is lacking armor though, so we may need to put some armor on it just to try and give it a chance within this race. Speaking of the race, we do have a lap record. The Muddigger at C class did this as a lap. Did a lap in this race, not in this race, but a lap at this track at 41.722. So that is the personal best for the track and for C class as well. So we're going to lower the rating of the Killerbee S by doing this. But I think it's needed for us to survive this race, to be fair. The minimum on. Front and back bumpers. Roll cage. Yeah. And we'll use the windscreen as well. There we go. We've got our Killerbee down to 188, I think it was. Yeah. So Killerbee is Killerbee S, sorry. I'm going to have to keep saying S. B rated 188 for this one. It's a multi-heat race. Top 12 qualify out of 24. And we're going to start with the qualifiers. Now, we need a good start. I don't remember the track, but I kind of do and don't. I know it's weird. It's one of those tracks where I think we may have some difficulty in some areas, be good in others. Just got to hope for the best. And we're driving a brand new car, so we don't know how this car reacts to things. This may have been a really bad choice of vehicle, to be fair. But we're off the line pretty good. The Killerbee S having decent acceleration by the looks of things as we fly through the middle between several cars, even getting a sandwich a little bit there. Spinning out on the corner, a bit too much speed, turning a little bit too much, but we got hit in the right direction. And we're flying over the bumps for the first lap. Now, we're going to try and take the inside here. Can we get past the car? There we go. Upper position into 4th. Not going too badly so far. We've got a jump to do here. That's nicely landed, I think. Oh, okay, not so much. Hit the post and then kind of got a bit sideways. We're okay. Got to watch out for them little declines that we can kind of put our wheels into, because that's going to send us straight off if we're not careful. Start the second lap, first corner as well. The 3 cars ahead are battling. We've just got to stick with them and try and take advantage of any mistakes. But then we make a mistake and somehow manage to spin all on our own. And we've now got to rejoin the track without really getting smashed again by anyone. I can't really say what happened there, to be fair. It just went badly wrong very quickly. But we're now got to battle our way back. We're currently in 10th. We were 4th, I want to say, at that point. So we're fighting for 9th and 10th positions, really, realistically here. But I'm hoping we can move forward as the race goes on. Final corner before the end of the second lap. We are in 9th place. Plenty to do, but we've got 3 more laps to do it in. So we're okay there. It's just making our way further forward as quickly as possible. A lot of these cars are quicker than us. And we go flying off the side of the track. Luckily, a reset puts us back. And it's not so bad damage-wise. So we're okay there. We got away with that somehow. But as I was saying, the other cars are a lot better than us in terms of rating and things like that. So that's something to watch out for. I'm trying not to upgrade cars currently, as I think we're making the races too easy for ourselves. I think Stu the Gamer gave us the advice of buying, if you find it too easy, buy new cars. But the problem is the cars cost so much money, it's a bit tricky, unless it's a car intended for a specific race. But there's my little kind of 2 cents, I suppose. I don't really, yeah, I don't want to upgrade the cars unless it's free parts, maybe. Although that doesn't really happen very often, so it's something we may have to do when we get them, but otherwise I think we have to hold off upgrading for the time being. Big mistake there as we hit the tyre wall, and that's an immovable tyre wall. Sometimes we've hit tyres and they've moved, exploded on us. That one, solid. And then the jump just goes wrong as well as we hit the edge. We were doing so well in this, up into 7th as it stands, and we're just having a nightmare section. The jumps are not helping, we're catching things we shouldn't normally catch. 7th place as it stands. That's not too bad a finish, but I would have liked better, to be honest. I think we can do better. This car isn't a bad car, essentially, and we do like driving the other version. But I don't know, there's something about it that's not quite working for me. We'll have to keep going with it and persevere, though, I think. Over the jumps, doing pretty well so far. Up in the 6th place. 2 laps to go, or 1.5 laps now. Over the jumps, right. No tyres this time, please. No, we caught. I said it as we caught them. I said it as we caught the tyres on the edge of the wheel there. And that is us wrecked. In the qualifying stages of this event, we did set a new PB for the B class and new track record of 41.636. So beating the Muddigger by about 100th of a second. Ah, that's annoying. We've also unlocked a new car to buy in the shop. I cannot believe we did that. That means we get 0 points, I think. Because, yeah, we failed to even qualify for the semi-finals. Out in qualifying. It's not good. Okay, moving on. We're going to skip the European Tour as that's got 6 races to it as well. So we'll have to look at that in a separate episode. I think anything over 4 races, you can't really have them in they have to have an episode to themselves, I would say. Really and truly. So European Tour we'll skip. And then we've got Warwagons. Now Warwagons is at Dirt Devil Stadium. Demolition Arena, another demolition event. Muddigger is our choice of car. C rated. Does it need armour? Probably. For any kind of demolition event, you kind of want armour. I think there's some on there, to be fair. So Muddigger being our choice of car. C rated 108. I don't think there's no target for this one in terms of how many wrecks we need to do. We just got to compete and try and survive as long as possible and get a decent slot in the rankings. That's the plan. As always, I don't talk through demolition events. So, demolition time with the Muddigger. What can it do? And can it win? That's the big question. So in answer to a question, the answer is no, we can't win. 13th place, no wreckages at all. We didn't wreck a single car. That hasn't really gone to plan, has it? We do gain some credits, but yeah, that went badly. Very, very badly. Let's see if we've got anything else. We've got some XP. So we finished 13th overall, 0 of 2 bonus targets. We gained 30 points of 200. So actually, it's still a pass because we gained some points. But it's not a pass that I would have liked. But it's another event we've done. We'll come back to it when we've done all the different things at some point and try and maximise it. So the next thing to look at for us would be something we've got time for today. And I'm thinking Wagon versus Wagon. It's an interesting one. I think that would be something we can do before we finish this episode. So Wagon versus Wagon. Savolax Sandpit Short Route. Now, we have done this before. The Rocket C-Class has the lap record of 42.504. Multi-heat, we need a top 9 in each heat to qualify. And we start with the qualifying round. We're using the Muddigger once again, as it has to be a wagon vehicle. So can we progress through the qualifying and all the way to the final? And can we beat the Rocket's personal best time? It's time to find out as we start in 13th place off the line. Again, we're never going to have the best acceleration in this vehicle, but it's all about how we get going through these 3 laps. Staying close to the back at the minute, just biding our time, keeping the inside nice and tight, just trying to keep working our way through, ignoring the cars around us as much as possible. We've made our way up to 7th place as we go over the jump there. Right-hander now taking a position up to 6th, and we're forcing someone wide as we take up the inside again, already into 3rd place overall after, what, half a lap? But we get a bit out of sorts on the corner there. We managed to hold it together and stay in 3rd place, chasing down the leaders. But again, we don't need to rush this now as we dive up the inside. I was just thinking, we don't need to rush this. We're in the top 9. We're laughing. But instead, we force our way through and we finish the first lap in 2nd place. So far, so good. First is in our sights as well. They've gone very deep for the first corner, but we haven't quite capitalised on that as we approach the jump. We're doing okay. We've got a bit of a gap to the cars behind as well. So we are kind of settling down into this now. Nearly halfway through the 2nd lap. 2nd place as it stands. We've just got to be careful now. Take this nice and chilled. Try and get used to the track a bit as well. As we know, if we qualify from this round, we've got the semi-finals and potentially final ahead. And as we don't really know the track too well, it's getting used to it and getting used to the Muddigger at the same time. The final left-hander before the run for the home. And we're in 2nd place as we end the 2nd lap and start the 3rd. First place getting a little bit further ahead of us there. But we're managing to keep it within sights. I'm not too worried about overtaking it. We don't need a first place in qualifying. It doesn't matter as long as we're top 9. So we're quite happy where we are. If it makes a mistake, we'll capitalise. But other than that, we're quite happy where we are. And there was a mistake from the car in first. Getting very sideways after the jump. Couldn't quite capitalise. Managed to get a bit closer though. This could make an interesting run for the line if we can keep this very, very close. We go up the inside. There's contact between us and them. They're forced off wide. Didn't really mean to force them off there. It kind of bounced off us and that's where they went. So we're now in 1st place as we take the final corner of the final lap. And we're going to finish qualifying in 1st place. A nice finish there. And we're going to have our own time of a 42.581. So not quite as quick as the Rocket in C-Class. Muddigger is also C-Class. So we are racing the same for the same kind of time, personal best. I explained that very well. But semi-finals next. Can we progress through to the final? Again, top 9 needed. So again, we don't need to really rush this. We can take our time. We're starting from 1st because of our qualifying position. So we can stay out of trouble, hopefully, come the 1st corner. Unless there's any dive bombs, we should be fine. Taking the left-hander nice and gently here. Bit of a little drift on the outside there, on the back end. And around the 1st corner, no problems at all. We've opened a gap up to a few of the cars behind. We have got someone on our tail, but there's a bit of a gap to everyone else. As I think some of them came a cropper on that 1st corner. Starting in 1st place massively helped that. We stayed out of trouble, didn't have to worry about anyone else. And now it's just about us, the track, and making sure we safely navigate this semi-final and get through to the final. That's all we've got to do. So final bend now before the run for the line as we approach the end of lap number 1. And we're laughing really, 1st place. No issues at all. Bit of a boring one to be fair. Because, yeah, nothing's happening. Although we go deep into the 1st corner. I say that and jinx ourselves. As we go very deep into the 1st corner. Mess everything up. Dropping positions like anything. We're now down to 6th. And we're going to have to battle our way back up. I think some complacency kind of crept in there. And I just mistimed the braking for the 1st corner. Like I didn't really brake at all. And yeah, messed it up massively. But we've got ourselves back in the 3rd place. Remember, we don't have to win the semi-final. We just need to make it through the top 9 to get to the final itself. A win is kind of a bonus. But we're not worried too much about it. We are in 3rd place, but 4th place is really on our tail. As we get a bit closer 2nd. We're going to be overtaken after the little nudge. And we're being forced into the barrier there. 3rd place is taken from us. And they're not happy with us at all. As they try and force us into barrier. But we're going to look up the inside here and see if we can take the position back. We can. And we take the 3rd position as well. 2 positions for the price of 1 there. And we're now up to 2nd place. 1st place, we can see them just ahead of us here. As we're about halfway through the final lap. Not too worried about where they are. All we got to do now is focus on our race and finish this off to make it through to the final. A bit slow on this corner though. We are catching a little bit there, but I don't think we're going to have enough to beat them to the line. But it doesn't matter, as we are in second place with a corner to go. Around the final corner, race to the line, and we should have a comfortable second place in hand. It should have been first, I know, but I messed up. And in doing that, we also set a brand new personal best lap record, beating the Rockets' time. The Muddigger now has a lap record for the Savolax Sandpit Short Route of 42.302. That's a new personal best. That's a good start for this final. We qualified in second place in our heat. Can we now win the whole thing? We're starting in third. Can we capitalise? Off the line. We got away really well there. 6 laps instead of 3, so double the distance this time. But it just means we've got to focus a little bit more. We got off the line really well, but then couldn't really capitalise, and we're still in third place. And we're trying to attack second there, but he kind of holds us off as we go over the jump. 4th place is on our tail as well. Diving up the inside here, trying to take some speed into corner, and we actually flip second place around and take the position. That was nicely done in the end. There's nothing wrong with that. It's in the rules. We can hit cars and turn them over. That's well within the rules for Wreckfest. So, second place as we come to the final corner of lap number 1. First place is not far ahead, but third is on our tail too. And he doesn't look happy with us, to be fair. So we've got to try and keep ahead of him. We don't want to mess the first corner up like we did in the semi-finals. So braking early, trying to plan kind of where we're drifting around to. Take as much speed as possible. But we lost a bit of momentum there as we hit the car in first. And second place is now attacking us as he forces us over the jump, but into the barrier at the same time. He's not happy with us at all, is he? But we're gonna smash not even the one that was hitting us, the very similar car, but we kind of smashed him off over a little bit of a jump and into a barrier. And he wasn't even the one that was attacking us. He was trying to take it around the outside and didn't quite work out for him. We're going to finish the second lap in second place as we approach the line for the start of lap number 3. So far, this is going okay. Yes, first would be nice, but so far so good. And we're dive bombed by Tough Nut there from third place. We get a bit tangled up, and that's killed our momentum as we're looking at the jump here. We're going to be overtaken again. These two cars are really not happy as they force us into the barrier, straight head first into it, and that's really messed us up there. We've got some damage to suspension. The car doesn't feel fantastic, but we're okay. 6th place as it stands. 2 cars there, we're just making sure we weren't making it to the finish line, but luckily we managed to avoid massive damage. A little bit of damage, but it's enough we can manage. So, coming up to the end of the third lap, we're going up the inside in the final corner, and we're going to take 3 positions as we move from 6th to 3rd in one corner, and then the third lap of 6 in third place. 2 cars to go if we want to get a win here with 3 laps. We're halfway through, but we've messed up. Trying to take the first corner nice and tight, and we kind of got up onto the banking a little bit and ended up tipping over. Just couldn't quite control it. I thought we could take it really tight, nice line, and line ourselves up nicely for the jump. It didn't work. We got turned over. We're now in 9th position in this final. There's a couple of laps to go, so we have a bit of time on our side, but it's all going to be about catching up now. That's really cost us massively. Now it's all about making something out of nothing. We're just going to take as many positions as we can as quickly as possible. As we dive up the outside, we take 2 positions, trying for the third, but didn't quite make it. As we hit on the back end there, we managed to avoid permanent damage, but our brakes are now damaged as well now, after all that pushing and shoving from the other cars. And I can't even say that was us doing that. The other cars are really having a go at us here, but we've made our way up to 6th position now after we flipped over. We're on the penultimate lap, and there are cars in our sights. We have got a few cars here we could still overtake and gain more positions. This could have been a win, but some mistakes by ourselves and some bullying, we could say, from some of the other cars has really put paid to our race as we move up to 4th place there after 2 cars go wide. 4th place as it stands. 3rd and 2nd are in our sights just ahead, and 1st in the distance there as we come to the end of lap number 5, start of lap number 6. 4th position. Can we get anything else out of this race? This is the final lap. We need to really make this a good one. Trying to go up the inside of the 2 cars ahead and doesn't quite make it work. We lose a little bit of momentum, but we get the speed going again. We hit 60 miles an hour over the jump, diving up the inside, but again, just too far back to take advantage. Nearly flipped over, on the edging there as we got a bit untidy. We managed to hold it together. We also missed another car trying to overtake, but held it off, and we're in 4th place as it stands. There's one corner to go, and I think we're going to go as high as we can, but we're going to go for the dive up the inside, and we hit the car in 3rd. We actually smashed them a little bit. Now it's a ride for the line. Can we get to the line before anyone else and take 3rd place? We are going to do it, and we're going to finish the race in 3rd place. Best lap of 42.383, so not as good as the personal best we set in the semi-finals, and a 3rd position. It could have been better, admittedly, without the tip over, without the bullying from the other cars. It could have been so much more, but 3rd place is still okay. It's still points on the board. That's the important thing. We've unlocked a street ignition now as well for one of the other cars. More XP going on. And final position, 3rd place in Wagon Vs Wagon. 1 out of 2 bonus targets. 160 out of 200 points. That's not bad. And today we've now got a new points total of 1,686 points out of 2,200 for the championship. We've earned 490 points today alone, which I think is pretty good. But that is it. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like the episode. It really does help the channel. And we'll see you next time as we continue on in Wreckfest.